You just don't get the parts you like. You get the whole ball of wax. What does the Zen master said? The spiritual life, one insult after another. And this was an enlightened master. One insult after another. Well, how could this possibly have happened? How could this be the will of God for me? Well, I started praying and meditating, and look now, look at me, look at me. That's when thy will be done comes into play. That's when we're willing to enter into a sacred, holy relationship, keeping our contract with divine presence to awaken no matter what's going on in the outer world. And then it begins to flood our being with what we need when we need it. And we see in retrospect, it is part of a divine plan for awakening. But it's different for all of us. And my time is not God's time. And so sometimes when I say thy will be done, it means I need to say something I don't want to say. It might mean I may have to go somewhere I don't want to go. And it may mean I have to do something I don't want to do. But I trust enough in it, and I feel what it feels like in my body when I'm following it, to be willing to keep moving in its direction, regardless of what the world either does or doesn't do for me or through me. I'm being willing to enter into the mystery of life, to let everything that comes my way to be dancing lessons with the divine. Oh, look, here's good health. I prefer this dance, baby. I like to be healthy. What happens when I'm not healthy? I like when the money's coming in. Oh, yeah, baby. The big prosperity theme, generosity. I give, I get back. What happens when you're broke, okay? Well, what happened there? Your kids, they love me not. He's there for me, she's not there for me. Then we say, thy will be done. In this moment, this is also part of the awakening process, the mystery. Did another dancing lesson with God, dancing lesson with life. I love when I can twirl with it and go, look at that one, no one's here. Whoa, look, everybody's here. Oh, they give me what they want, then they're not. I'm healthy, I'm in a hospital bed. Wait, I just visited you, now I'm looking up, you're visiting me. The whole shebang, friends. The whole deal, it's all God, it's all awakening. When we use it for that purpose, the divine can ooze and soak into all of our relationships, so we can use them for sowing seeds of compassion, loving kindness, forgiveness, and awakening. That's what we're here for. So I never told you the full story about that moment when it came to me, when I really felt like the will of God for me was that I inherit my family's money from my family's estate. I was 42 years old when my dad died. And it was a lot of money. I've talked about this before, the single largest shareholder of IBM stock back in the 30s, and Joe Levy and the Dora May Company, the only grandson, and the whole shebang, and my father's alcoholism, and all the women that came into his life, and the one in the end, they got everything. But I still thought, even with all of that, I'd be getting some bucks. Yeah? So when I prayed like this, Our Father which art in heaven. That was a good truth, that was teaching truth then. Hallowed be thy check in the mail. Coming from my dad and the company as well. So when I was sitting at the table, you always end up sitting at the table with the final moment, yeah, at that particular point. I was sitting and I was waiting for my inheritance to be given unto me. And it was the reading of the last will and testament. And my wife was there, and my two sisters were there, and their husbands, and the woman across the table who ended up getting everything, and the attorney as well. And when they got done reading the will, it was very apparent that we were not in that will. That every single penny was gone and given to somebody else. And it was a big moment, a big kind of awakening. But wait a minute, I thought that was what I was supposed to get. I already had tithe checks written out, you know. I was going to have a tithing account based upon my $1.5 million to tithe the nice place. $92,000, no problem, here's your check, pay off your mortgage. I knew God had a purpose for me to get all this money. And there it was, zero, zilch, nothing. And in the end, even the sacred, beloved $28,000 gold presidential Rolex watch, which I had been told my whole life was mine. My dad died 4 or 5 times, and he handed me the watch and said, someday, son, this is going to be yours. And it went to the attorney who took all the money. I didn't even get the watch. And I'm sitting at this table now. This is a big moment of thy will not happening, the one I thought that was supposed to happen. You know, I'm not surrendered in that moment. And literally, when the watch went to somebody else, at that moment, now I'm 20 years younger, testosterone's moving through my body, I picked up the whole table and dropped it on the ground. And I said, I hope you all get more pleasure from that money than anybody I knew ever did. As for me and my house, I am quite done. Bless you.